we are going to talk about Bella Ramsey's GQ feature and all of the cancer that she spread in that interview. Wow. We're going to just break it down for you. Firstly, I wanted to just address the cynicism of the timing of her coming out as non-binary in January, right before the series came out. You cannot tell me that a publicist was not behind the scenes telling her this would be perfect if you reveal that you go by they, them pronouns right before the show comes out.
It happens. It's the same thing whenever Pamela Anderson has some salacious story about Tim Allen just predominantly right before her book comes out. It's always, it's very cynical. It's very cynical.
Bella Ramsey revealed that the rest of the cast and crew were very supportive of her. And specifically,
as if they could be anything else.
She said that Pedro,
I am shocked.
Yeah, she said that Pedro Pascal, whose sister is trans, was super supportive, and the two of them had many conversations about gender and sexuality.
If I'm 55-year-old Pedro Pascal, I'm not talking about anything sexual with a 19-year-old kid. I'm not
Henry
doing
Cavill is watching this, reflecting on like his non-relationship.
What is he thinking of Leo DiCaprio?
Millie Bobby Brown, and he's like, bad idea, man.
Yeah.
Like, get away from that.
There was an amazing video the other day. It's the guy, it's like Leonardo DiCaprio at the gym, and he goes past all the 25 weights to the 17 and a half and picks it up.
She said, we were just very honest and open with each other.
Don't be open with the child, Pedro. Don't be open with the child. Be very closed with the child.
Yeah. So she doesn't identify as a woman, and she said it bothers her that some people refer to her as a young woman or a powerful young woman, a young lady, based on feminine characters she has played.
Yeah, what is it that you want? Because if she whatever her pronouns are, God, it's exhausting.
She says the
it's
pronouns
exhausting.
A young
having
gentleman.
a normal conversation about someone is just exhausting.
A young folk.
Yes,
whatever its deal is, like, what does it want?
Yeah.
Does it want to be a guy because
attention?
It's failing. Yeah,
That's
but
what
even still, it's like there's not like the absence of femininity does not equal masculinity. And all these people that are like, oh, I'm non-binary and stuff. It's like all you get is masculine, feminine, or androgynous.
Yep. Yeah.
And so you add masculinity, you get you get more masculine. You add femininity, you get more feminine. But you don't. When you take away masculinity and take away femininity, you don't get a new thing. You just get an androgynous.
Yeah.
You know.
Which is what the funny thing is that's exactly what they're going for with Jason Momoa in the new Fast and the Furious movie. They said they made his bad guy character purposely androgynous.
I'm sure that failed.
You can't make Jason Momoa androgynous.
He's too good looking. He's literally too good looking and too masculine.
He's literally,
I mean,
like
no,
buff.
He's a unit.
He's actually he's actually too good looking to even be the bad guy. Like, I'm watching the trailer and I'm like, I don't buy it. He's too nice looking. Like, he looks like a nice guy.
He's wholesome.
Like, I don't buy it.
For sure. So some of you might know the tirade, the war that I waged against the third episode of The Last of Us, because it completely deviated from the game and just gave us a gay AIDS awareness telenovela showing decades long of a relationship that was never made explicit in the game between characters Bill and Frank, characters who in the game actually hated each other.
Yep.
Go off, Queen.
And
exactly.
It made me extremely angry that I was forced to sit through that and then review it as if it had anything to do with Joel and Ellie.
Yep.
It had nothing to do with those characters. It was a shit episode. Objectively, it was terrible. It was not the heart-wrenching story that they are selling it as, but Bella Ramsey loved that episode. She said, I was on the verge of tears throughout and cried at the bit in the montage when they got married. And then
technically they got married the same way Kanye got married recently, which is not legally because there was nobody there to perform the ceremony.
Yeah, and this journalist claimed that the episode was review bombed by users of sites like IMDb and Metacritic, drawing thinly veiled derision from elements of the online right.
What does that even mean anymore?
It was the incels.
The incels.
The right-wing incels. They review bombed episode 3 because they just hate gay people, right?
Exactly
Not because
right.
they wanted a show about the characters it was based on, right?
And all of this, I do love the idea that she's like, they were all so supportive. I love the world where they could be literally anything but supportive in this and not lose their careers. Yeah. Like, they didn't go up to Gabriel Luna, who plays Joel's brother, and say, how do you feel about her being non-binary? And he doesn't say anything other than, I support it with every bit of my being. You are so stunning. You are so brave.
It's literally like when Ellen DeGeneres was like, what am I supposed to say? What's the thing I'm supposed to say? That's what I think. You know, what am I supposed to feel? It's like, it's so thinly veiled and so...
Thank you.
Uh-oh.
Carter. It's Carter's voice.
Running gun.
Woo! See, they still haven't found the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's only this one.
Only that one?
There is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reference hidden in that audio clip, and I'm still waiting. Somebody got kind of close the other day. Somebody got kind of. I keep my eye on the chat every time it plays. There is a nugget of a quote from the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie from 1990 in there, and I'm still waiting for somebody to point it out.
Nobody is going to point it out.
I even gave an Easter egg, like a hint on my Instagram story the other day. But nobody's gotten it.
Believe me, nobody's gonna know.
No, well, we'll have to wait and see.
Further, Bella Ramsey said, I know people will think what they want to think, but they're gonna have to get used to it. If you don't want to watch the show because it has gay storylines or because it has a trans character, that's on you and you're missing out. It isn't gonna make me afraid. I think that comes from a place of defiance.
It's I love the bragging.
Yeah, definitely stoke the animosity between the showrunners and the fans more. That's going to work out really well for you.
Yeah. Well, it will. Like, this will work for the next 5 years of
I just
career.
think it's such a bad sign for our culture that The Last of Us is the most popular show on HBO Max right now. Because aside from any social justice stuff they've inserted in it, it's just not a good quality show. It's not suspenseful or entertaining. It's boring as all hell. And this is what we accept as entertainment now because our standards have plummeted below the molten core of the earth.
I enjoyed the last episode for the action scene. For the rest of it was, again...
That was literally like 5 minutes long.
It's 12 minutes long. I actually timed it. It's 12 minutes. Because I
For
wanted
the
to see how
rest
much
of the episode, we saw zero action, zero cordyceps. Where are the mushroom monsters?
The problem is they keep giving too much time to actors that are only in a couple of episodes, like the two actors in that one, like Kathleen, and then like
they're like dying to make this show about anybody but Joel and Ellie.
Yeah. Which is funny too, because they got an adult actress. It's not the adult actress is not limited by hours. Like a lot of times with shows where they have an actor who's younger than who's not over 18, they have to limit the amount of screen time they have because they can only work a certain amount of hours in a day. And here they're literally doing chest binding to her to make her look younger than she is. Yeah. So they could have gotten full work days out of her if they wanted to.
What is that?
My phone.
Oh.
So I wanted to talk to the chat on my computer with my name because the chat here is making comments and I wanted to say something because last time I'm logged in as you.
As me. So somewhere there's something online that I did not say because I think Kellen also has said a few choice words to people under my account.
I don't want to do that.
So
she admitted that she wore a chest binder while shooting The Last of Us. And she said, that's probably not healthy. Please bind safely. And it said it allowed her to focus better on set. This was not something she did reportedly to look younger because she's playing a 14-year-old at 20 years old. This is something she did as a response to gender dysphoria, more likely.
Wait, so she did this on her own or they told her to?
They did not tell her to.
Oh, there's no way they would get away with telling her to do this.
She's packing?
I mean, that's the implication. At least.
Should she not be like my womanhood?
I don't know why.
I am woman. Hear me roar.
Is she pulling a Billie Eilish?
Yeah,
it's just
Billie
like,
Eyelash.
A 14-year-old wouldn't be completely flat-chested anyways.
Yeah.
So she was obviously doing this because of her identity issues, which she is forced onto the publicity of this show.
Do you think any of these articles that have to be written about these celebrities just now have like a saved portion where it says so-and-so who uses they, them pronouns?
They have to.
They
now,
always have to write
so
that
confusing.
in the article. Like it says, Bella Ramsey, who previously starred in HBO Max's Game of Thrones, uses they them pronouns, but isn't a stickler for formality. So that part was at least kind of adult. She said like she's not hung up on the pronouns. She said she couldn't care less about the pronouns, but doesn't like to be thought of in the gender binary.
I feel like
it's so exhausting.
They could just be like, oh,
As if anyone asked.
it's just exhausting.
Yeah.
They should just say that this person is entirely tiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the writing standpoint, I know on our end, like our protocol for that is to just avoid any reference to gender at all.
Yeah.
No
And
pronouns.
But they want that. That you're giving them what they want.
But it sounds like you're screwing up the way English is spoken. So like Dylan Mulvaney, the way you write something is like Dylan Mulvaney said that Dylan Mulvaney went to, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And they love it. It's chaos. It's chaos on their part.
Dylan Mulvaney said, I'm already tired of talking about that guy.
Yes.
Girl.
Dylan. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Dylan Mulvaney cameo in this show. That maybe they'll get them to play Tess.
Abby?
To play not Tess.
Anyway, to
play
get the
Abby.
new face.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're saying that there's going to be an undercurrent of internet hostility carrying through to the second season because they're assuming integral queer elements will remain intact. So they're referring obviously to Joel's murderer, but this game has been out for a while now.
Oh, the beefy chick?
Becoming the protagonist of the second game,
Yeah, the beefy chick.
which was, they said, marred by backlash due to the masculine presentation of the protagonist villain, Abby. It was a vocal minority,
It's
but
always a vocal
still,
minority.
one could understand resulting apprehension. But Ramsey, however, is unmoved.
Yeah, because she doesn't have to be moved.
I can't imagine why then Bella Ramsey is sitting in on the writer's room for the second season when she doesn't even know what happens in the second game and then reports to GQ that they're going to stay faithful to it.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, if they stay faithful to the second game, it's still going to be shit, so you can't win. And now Pedro Pascal is like the main draw to this show.
He's the only good part.
He's killing it.
He's the best. He is the only consistent aspect of this show that works.
I mean, I wouldn't say he's killing it. I would just say he's like tolerable and like he's still part of like what feeds into the, I don't know what else to say other than like the wokeification of The Last of Us, because he's out here talking about how he's the unproblematic daddy right now. Like he's literally calling himself daddy to his fan base.
Ew.
And it's just like all of these people just cringe me out, and I can't divorce it from my experience of the show.
I can overlook it on the show. I can usually separate the art from the artist on the show.
But
I
the
think
show
he's
sucks.
doing. I think he is a bright spot.
If the show
on
were good,
television
I'd be
right
like,
now.
whatever.
I don't
But,
think
like,
the
the show
I think
sucks.
you're too harsh on the show. I don't think it sucks.
Yeah.
You're not harsh
sea
enough.
in a sea of garbage on television, I don't think that's what this qualifies as.
As a video game fan, as a fan of The Last of Us, I watch Pedro Pascal and I'm like, that is Joel. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So, in response to her comment about defiance against the fans, the journalist said, if it seems personal, it's impossible for it not to be. When commenters hand-wring over the existence of queer and trans characters, waving their fists because this is a zombie show, damn it, not queer as folk, we know what they really mean. All the belligerent man babies in the world couldn't stop Bella Ramsey from being part of The Last of Us.
Yeah, the straw man is strong with this one. Like that's
Take
the worst,
that, you
that's
incel.
the worst possible argument they could have made in this case.
Meanwhile, non-binary people are the actual incels
They're
of society.
they're the actual hand-wringers who are hand-wringing about how you not referring to them in the proper manner, not using the proper tone to address them.
Non-binary people are incels.
Yes.
They're like, let me just shrug off the expectation that I fit any type of gender role and I might be attractive to somebody.
It's also it's also art nerdish when they're like it's just like Harry Styles like, yeah, I don't really think about my sexuality. I'm like, you have a team of people that thinks about your sexuality.
Yeah.
You have focus groups that talk about your sexuality.
I don't believe that there is
they're lying.
anyone in Hollywood that has at this point not, weighed whether or not having some kind of non-binary or some kind of LGBTQ
Well, no, it's
personality identity.
It's bi
that's
now.
going to be for to their benefit.
You call yourself bi now because you can't prove it otherwise. Like,
Yeah.
yes, I've been with the same sex. You can't prove that I haven't, even though I've been married.
But no, now the argument.
All it takes is saying I thought about masturbating, or I masturbated thinking about someone of the same sex. Now I'm
No, the
bisexual.
argument is that you don't need to do anything to prove your identity marker, and if you ask about it, then you're a bigot.
Yeah, you're the bad person.
Yeah.
So I mean, like it is come full circle where back in the day they would have to hire women to like go on dates with like famous men to like make people think that they were straight. Now straight men have to pretend to be gay so that they can get play in Hollywood, or at least pretend
Harry
to be bi.
Styles was dating Olivia Wilde, so he was able to queer bait regardless of that.
Yep, he loves it.
I'm so glad I'm out of the dating scene.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.